Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. It's your girl Little Latina coming at you with another video. And if you are new here, I'm so glad to see you. And if you have been here before, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Kibbe system. Now, the Kibbe system was created by a man named David Kibbe. He created the system in 1980, which is a system that types the body into physical and personality characteristics. Its aim was to create a harmoniously styled person who follows the natural lines of their body. This system is also based off of a yin and yang ideology that everything exists in basically contradictory opposites, so the feminine and masculine energies. And this system uses these concepts as a way to style the body, determined on how much yin or how much yang you have, or if you have a perfect balance of the both. So there are going to be multiple types within this styling system, and so we are going to be doing a brief overview of every type, how it looks on the body, how you can style clothes for it, what it looks like on the face, and how you can really accentuate your natural lines to get the most harmonious appearance without having to alter your body or wearing clothes that is very restrictive or uncomfortable. So first up, we have dramatics or pure dramatics. This is going to be the sharpest and most angular body type out of all of the groups. Bone structure is long and tends to be thin. Features can consist of straight lines and sharp angles. This is going to be considered full yang, so the most dramatic masculine lines you can get here. You're typically going to be moderately tall if you are inside of this group, 5'5" and above, usually have long legs and arms. Facial bone structure is usually going to be angular with sharp features. You can have square shoulders. Facial bones are going to be very sharp and prominent. Overall, the entire body is going to be very sharp. You're going to have a lot of angles in the collarbones and your fingers and your arms and legs. So a lot of thinness, a lot of long, straight lines. You're going to have a lot of angles. So some of the best ways to style for your body type is that you want to look for clean, long, vertical lines to follow what the rest of your body already has. Long, straight trousers, coats, and dresses. You want to keep your silhouette simple, straight, and clear with very little detail and no color blocking. Monochromatic color schemes will look best. The overall shape of your clothes should be sharp and geometric, so triangles, rectangles, things like that. And sculpted, sleek, and elegant with crisp edges. This is going to really accentuate the natural lines and curvature of your body, which is overall going to give you that harmonious look that this Kibbe style system is looking to achieve. Now next up we have soft dramatics, which is going to be dramatics with slightly more yin added to it. So soft dramatics are defined by sharp yang with a pronounced yin undercurrent. You guys are going to be moderately tall, 5'5" and above, with long vertical lines. Bone structure is also going to be long and angular. Limbs are going to be long, and facial bones are going to be prominent and sharp. Facial features are full, lush, and sensual. You could have very large eyes, lips, or cheeks. Now clothing lines that are going to really suit the soft dramatics are going to be clean and long lines, but with added softness that can be achieved through draping along the waist for emphasis. Large floral and watercolor prints can also give that added softness. Lightweight fabrics that drape are going to be excellent as well. Strive to create a T silhouette and opt for no color blocking as well, and keep details to a minimum. Alright, now next up on our list we have naturals. Now pure naturals are going to be defined by soft yang and the overall combination of a slightly broad and angular physicality. So you guys are going to typically be moderately to slightly tall, 5'5" and above, have a lot of long vertical lines as well. Typically you're going to be straight and muscular with not a lot of waist definition. Most likely you're going to have flat hips and a slightly flat bust line, slightly long arms and legs, and possibly long-waisted. Facial bone structure is slightly straight and slightly angular with blunt edges. Facial bones are slightly broad, blunt, or irregular. Typically going to have moderate to small eyes, tall cheeks, or a slightly wide open features and tiny or thinner lips. So clothes that are going to look best on the pure natural body type are going to be clothes that focus on creating a relaxed outline. So you want to keep clothing lines relaxed and straight. Silhouettes should be softly tailored but always unconstructed. You want to create a fairly narrow and slim shape, but in a loose and easy way. Long elements such as scarves and cardigans will complement your long vertical lines, and asymmetrical elements can be added to create that unconstructed fit. Clothing can also be slightly oversized as well. You can work with textured fabrics with a natural feel such as linen, wool, and suede. Prints with soft edge geometric or asymmetrical irregular shapes and wild color combinations also help break that overly straight frame, adding a little bit of that roundness and looseness. Now next up we have flamboyant naturals, which are defined by sharp yang. You are going to be moderately tall with long vertical lines as always. Long arms, legs, hands, and feet are going to be typical within this body type as well. Facial bones are broad or prominent, and facial features may be very large, open, or very straight and small. Now, what are some of the best ways to dress a flamboyant natural is to add some angularity to your clothing lines. Clothing should create long and unconstructible silhouettes, and outlines use bold, sweeping lines with no waist emphasis. Loose, oversized trousers, coats, cardigans, and scarves that hang from the body will look great for you. Asymmetrical elements will also keep your outfits unconstructed, so you should opt for textures and asymmetrical prints to help create that wild and unusual color schemes will look good as well. And then we also have our soft naturals, which is defined by soft yang with a yin undercurrent and is a combination of slightly soft and fleshy body on an angular frame. Typically, you're going to be moderately to slightly small, so 5'7" and below. This body type is slightly soft and tends towards fleshiness. You're going to have a more slightly small waist in proportion to your bust and hips. You can be slightly curvy and tend to be more of an hourglass figure, but not extremely. Facial bone structure is going to be slightly angular. Shoulders are slightly square and broad, moderate to short limbs as well. Facial features are going to be full and rounded, so bigger eyes. Nose tends to be small and wide or slightly irregular. Some of the best ways to style soft naturals is with blunt edges that follow the natural shape but with added softness and roundness. So to help recreate your natural lines, you want to aim for unconstructed silhouettes but with particular emphasis coming in towards the waist. The relaxed lines with subtle drape and flow are going to be very flattering for you. Adding slightly asymmetrical elements and some loose detail will also help to create that unconstructed look. Opt for soft fabrics that drape and natural materials such as linen, wool, cotton, and silk. Help keep your outfits relaxed and create soft color combinations to really add the softness and roundness that's going to emphasize your lines. Alright, now next up on our list we have classics, which is right there in the middle. This is our balance of yin and yang. So pure classics are going to be defined by a perfect balance of yin and yang, and is the overall combination of a symmetrical physicality and cool, resigned essence. Typically, you're going to be moderate size, so between 5'4" to 5'7", with moderate vertical lines. Your body is going to be evenly proportioned around the bust, hips, and waist, with moderate to slightly long limbs. Facial bone structure are symmetrical, with a tendency towards slight sharpness and angularity. And facial features are typically going to be chiseled, symmetrical, and evenly spaced. So some of the best ways to style the pure classic is to create a look that is overall moderate with low contrast, keeping your outfit smooth and symmetrical. A clean, unbroken silhouette with slight waist emphasis will give a balanced appearance, which is what you're looking for. Stay simple with classic cuts and a balance between soft lines and hard forms. Keep color combinations low contrast, and prints should be symmetrical and understated. Wear high quality fabrics as well to complement that elegant look. Now next up we have dramatic classics, which is again that balance of yin and yang, leaning slightly more towards yang. This is the overall combination of a slightly angular physicality with a coolly sophisticated essence. Typically you're going to be moderately tall, so 5'7" and below, with moderate vertical lines. Bust, waist, and hip lines are somewhat straight and even in proportion. Now facial bone structure is going to be symmetrical with slightly angular edges. Shoulders can be tapered or slightly square and usually narrow. Slightly sharp, angular, or squarish facial contours, so in the jawline, nose, and cheekbones. And features are usually moderate to large, showing your eyes and your lips. And some of the best clothes for dramatic classics is going to be symmetrical but with added angularity. So trim and tailored lines with sharp edges are going to look great. You also want to choose clean, sleek, and straight lines, structured silhouettes with hints of sharpness like square or V necklines. And you also want to keep your outfits crisp and geometrical and opt for high fabrics and moderate weight, which aren't too stiff. High color contrast with deep natural colors in your outfits will look very good as well. And then lastly, for the classics, we have soft classics, which is defined by the blended yin and yang, leaning more towards a yang undercurrent. Typically moderate to small height to 5'6" and below, with moderate vertical lines as well. These body types are slightly rounded and tend to lean more towards fleshiness, so soft arms, thighs, and waistline. Typically, you're going to be evenly proportioned in your bust, your waist, and your hips. Facial bone structures are going to be symmetrical with soft or slightly rounded edges, and may be small or slightly wide in general. Features are soft and full, slightly fleshy, so big eyes, lips, cheeks. Now, some of the best ways to style a soft classic is to have a balanced and symmetrical look with added softness and roundness. Clothing lines should be clean, unbroken, and symmetrical with a waist emphasis. Aim for smooth, soft, symmetrical silhouettes with slight shaping. Gentle flowing lines that flare or swirl are going to look great on you. Add soft detail and accessories to your outfits as well. They should be smooth and symmetrical and compounded of rounded shapes with slightly intricate edges. Keep color combinations softly harmonizing, and prints should be soft and flowing as well. Next up on our list, getting closer to full yang, we have gamines. Now, pure gamines are defined by an even combination of yin and yang opposites, and is the overall combination of sharply delicate physicality. Typically, this body type is going to be a little bit shorter, so 5'5" and below, with short vertical lines as well. This body type is going to tend more towards flatness within the bust and the hips. Facial bone structure is going to be angular, sharp, and narrow, and sometimes delicate or small. Facial features tend to be moderate, or you can have very large eyes and thin lips that are going to be narrow and straight. Now, one of the best ways to style your gamines is going to be by keeping your silhouettes fitted and compact with waist emphasis. Your outlines should be sharp and fitted. You want to go bold on details and be sharp and small. Fabrics should be crisp and have a matte finish. Your colors should also be very bold. You also want to make sure that you use small geometric and angular asymmetric styling. And next up, we have flamboyant gamines, which are again the combination of opposite yin and yang with more of a yang undercurrent. You're typically going to be 5'6" and under with short vertical lines. This body type is very defined and it's going to be lean and strong. Facial bone structure is broadly angular. You're going to have slightly wide bones and large hands and feet unless you are just naturally petite. You're going to have slightly sharp or broad facial contours. Arms and legs might also be long unless you are obviously petite. Facial features are going to be large, so big eyes, big lips, big cheeks, and you're usually going to have broad or long facial shapes. Now, the best way to style the flamboyant gamine is to focus on creating a strict geometric silhouette with straight lines, clear edges, and sharp corners. Looks should accommodate your natural yang side, so your best shapes are asymmetric and irregular. Make sure to break up your silhouettes through use of different colors. Fabrics should also be lightweight to moderate with slight crispness, and you want to opt for more electric, bold, and vibrant colors, and also keep print bold and animated as well. Asymmetric and irregular patterns will also look very good on this body type. And lastly, we have soft gamines, which is a body type that is the combination of yin and yang opposites with additional yin. You're going to see a lot of rounded shapes and features on this delicate and very angular frame, along with a playful and spirited essence, usually 5'5" and below, and very petite with short vertical lines. This body type is soft, curvy, and tends towards fleshiness. Facial bone structure is delicate and small, yet slightly broad and angular. Angular edges, particularly through the shoulders, your hands and your feet, with delicate facial contours, so your nose, your cheekbones, and your jaw, and arms and legs tend to be short. Facial features can be considered doll-like, so very round and innocent, and you can have slightly sharp or slightly strong jawline as well. And the best way to style the soft gamine is to select clear and rounded lines with sharp corners and edges, so ovals, circles, elliptical shapes, chunky swirls, teardrops, things like that. This silhouette should be fitted, feminine, and small, with waist emphasis as well. Details should be very noticeable, energetic, and plentiful, and you want to opt for a lightweight and crisp fabrics. Finishes should be matte as well. Outfits should be colorful, with rich and intense shades to really draw attention to your natural curves. And lastly, we have the most yin type on our spectrum, and that is going to be romantics. Now, pure romantics is the body type that is most lusciously yin. typically moderate to petite, 5'5" and below with short vertical lines. Facial bone structure is delicate and smallish and usually on the wide side. Rounded or sloped shoulders, small hands and feet are typical within this body type as well. Facial bones are small and delicate and may be slight and lush. Facial features are typically going to be lush and full, so big eyes, lips, and cheeks. Now, the best way to style this body type is to keep the overall shape of clothes round and soft. So circles, swirls, and intricate flowing shapes in the form of ruffles, bows, and rounded necklines will add a lot of softness. Silhouettes should be flowing but also have a lot of waist definition. Lots of draping with lightweight fabrics are a very good option for this type. And you also want to opt for more pale, delicate, and rich and luxurious blended colors and fabrics with small, delicate floral prints to really accentuate the roundness and curves that naturally occur in this body type. And then lastly, we have theatrical romantics, which are the combination of yin and yang with slightly more yang undercurrents. It's a delicately radiant physicality combined with a magnetic essence, typically moderate to smaller petite, 5'5" and below. This body is soft and voluptuous, although trim and smallish. This hourglass figure, curvy bust line and hips with a very prominent waistline is usually what you see within this body type as well. Facial bone structure is small and delicate with slightly sharp edges. Features are going to be soft and lush, so large eyes, lips, and cheeks. And then the best way to style this body type is to keep outfits fitted and follow the natural hourglass figure, allowing emphasis on your natural curves and the waistline. Added angularity and sharpness through tapering at the wrist, hemline, necks is going to add a lot of shape, which is going to help accentuate the actual curves of the body. The rest of the clothing should be soft and draped and very flowing to add to that roundness and softness. So keep your colors light and bright as well. And there you go. That is basically a very simple overview of the Kibbe system, how to style according to your body type. Now there is tests that you can take to see exactly what your body type is. It's going to be linked down below if you want to check that out, and then you can actually go ahead and take a test to see what you are. I feel like a lot of people can be a combination of multiple types, so this is not going to be a direct translation to how you should dress. Obviously personal style exists and we all have things that we like and don't like, but this is just going to be a system that can help you to find clothing that will help accentuate your body type more without forcing you to dress in a certain way to get a different figure, since this is just what you want to wear to accentuate what you already have naturally. But with that being said, if you learned anything new or useful from this video, don't be shy and go ahead and leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and it would boost this video in the algorithm so others can see this video and possibly learn something new. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a beautiful day.